Hey, it's John with Smart Edition Academy, and in today's video, we're going to go over the vocabulary section of the HESI A2 exam. We're going to go over all the topics that you'll see on this section, kind of things that will help you out, tips and tricks, and some of the types of questions that you'll see on this section. Now, before I get into that, I want to make sure that if you guys like the video, like it and subscribe to the channel. We are going to have a lot of HESI videos coming out in just the next couple weeks that I want to make sure you guys are getting notifications for when those come out. And then you'll also see a bunch of links in the description below. Check out those links. They're super helpful for you guys. The first one that you'll see is a free practice test. It's a full-length timed practice test. Great if you're just getting started or if you're getting closer to taking the test, or any time in between. The free practice test will be a big help for you guys. You'll also see a link to our Facebook study group for the HESI test. This is a super helpful group with thousands of students in it who all have the same questions as you. They're looking for the same resources and they're sharing that information. So I want you guys to be a part of that community. So click the link and join the group below. You will also see links to the Smart Edition Academy online course, the practice test packs, study guides, and lots of other helpful links to resources that will help you guys out. So the vocabulary section of the test is going to be 50 questions in 50 minutes. So you have about a minute per question to answer each question, and it's going to cover various topics. So the first one is going to be root words, prefixes, and suffixes. All right, so a root word is the most basic part of a word. That's the root. You can create new words from a root by adding a prefix. This is going to be letters placed in front of the word, or by adding a suffix, which is letters placed at the end of a root word. Know about root words, prefix, and suffix, and how to determine the meaning of a word by analyzing these different word parts. Here's a few prefix examples. Right, so we can talk about post, which means after, and if we put that before a word, we have postpone. Pre means before, and you can have the word preview. So you took view, put pre in front of it, and now you've got preview. So we can kind of determine what that word means by the prefix. Re or re means again, and that's, you could say rewrite, or sub means under or below, and you can say a submarine. So it kind of helps you identify what these words mean. Submarine, what does it mean? And when it comes to suffix examples, we'll have a few that we can cover. So we might talk about things like en or n, which means made of, and wooden would mean made of wood. Full can mean comparatively the most. So meaningful means the most meaningful. Less can mean without. So art less, without art. Logy, L-O-G-Y, means the study of. So biology means the study of biology. So we can start to kind of figure out what these words mean by understanding the suffix and prefix of different root words. So you just want to be very familiar with all the different types of suffix and prefix. We've gone over a few of them here. Now in our online course and in our study guides and all the other helpful information we have for you guys, we have more detailed lists of prefix and suffix that would help you guys for this section of the test. And so really this is all about determining meaning. So things might not make sense to you right off the bat, but if you break words down into their smaller parts, it can become easier to understand. So we will look at the word transportation, and you can study the different parts of this word to figure out what it means. So the prefix trans means across, the root word port means to carry, and the suffix tion means the act or process. So it's the act or process of carrying across, transportation. So we were able to figure out what that word means by breaking down the prefix, the root word, and the suffix. Now, the other part of the vocabulary section is going to be context clues and multiple meaning words. So sometimes when you read a text, you come across an unfamiliar word. Instead of skipping the word and reading on, it's more important to try and figure out the meaning of that word, and you can better do that by understanding the text around the word. So we kind of try and want to determine here unfamiliar words by reading the context clues. You might run into multiple meaning words, so you need to understand which meaning of that word do they mean, and we're going to use the context of the sentence or the text to do that, and using multiple meaning words properly in context. So if we break it down, context means the other words in a sentence around the unfamiliar word. And of course, multiple meaning words are words that have more than one definition or meaning. So these are things like current, Current could mean like up to date, like a newspaper is current, or like a river, a fast current, or an electrical current. Or season can mean the time of year, or it can mean a spice. So you're going to be able to understand this by the context clues around the word. If we're talking about a river and we're talking about the current, well, we might have an idea of which meaning of current we're talking about. And if we're talking about cooking food and we talk about the season, we're talking about the seasoning, the spices used in that particular dish that we're cooking. So using those context clues is what a lot of the questions are going to be around, and they're going to ask you for this sentence, what is the meaning of the word current? So those are the topics that you'll see on the vocabulary section. It's not the broadest set of topics compared to some of the other sections of the test, but there's a lot more questions on it. So you'll have those 50 questions in 50 minutes. So this is something that I think if you just kind of put in the time to study these topics and really understand those suffix and prefixes and the multiple meaning words and context clues, you should do really well on this section. And we have you covered with our online course and study guide. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and I'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.